अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मेरा नाम साद है और मुझसे क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है कि व्हाट इज़ ऑनलाइन, वो हाउ टू लर्न, यानी कि कैसे सीखें कि सीखा कैसे जाए। दैट्स अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन एंड बीइंग अ टीचर फॉर सम टाइम आई हैव हैड पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ बीइंग अ टीचर फॉर अबाउट 5 years। और मैं अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस आपके साथ शेयर कर लेता हूँ और थोड़ा सा जो मुझे मेरी नॉलेज है मैं आपसे वो शेयर करता हूँ। फर्स्टली, बीइंग अ स्टूडेंट पर्सपेक्टिव, आपने कैसे सीखना है कि सीखा जाए और व्हाट शुड बी योर स्ट्रैटेजी, हाउ टू लर्न। I think the very first thing is to develop a passion or an interest in the given subject. If you don't have an interest into that particular given subject, I think rather you would not be that honest and you would not take great interest in learning that subject. So if that subject does not interest to you, I think you will find it rather very hard to absorb or to learn from it. Now, it happens to be that there are some topics which you do not really like learning, that is, you do not have great interest to it. But even then, वो आपकी success के लिए they are very important. Example, a person who wants to get into a medical college, I think physics would not be used, uh, as far as I know, for doctors. Physics is not a very useful subject, but even then, for a lot of medical colleges required physics, a good percentage in physics, और इसी वजह से you have to learn physics, right? So how can you develop the passion to learn physics? The way to do it is to remind yourself that the physics is very key or a very important factor for you to get into a medical college. In other words, what is your interest? Medical college. But what is required to get to your interest or to get what you want? Physics. So that is very important. If you keep reminding yourself, I think you will get into that subject somehow. Anyway, um, the next advice I'll give you is to wear a teacher's cap, or the other words, act like a teacher. Don't just learn as if you're a student. Learn as if you have to explain to someone else. And that is a very good strategy because when you wear a teacher's cap, you have to have a mastery. Once you have a mastery, then that that means you are on the upper level, and that means you learn very good. So that is a very good strategy to learn. And being a student, I also have to synchronize my, that's another advice, synchronize myself with the teacher. Not every person is alike, and not every teacher may match your interest. Maybe you don't like his or her attitude, but even then you have to sit some time with the teacher and synchronize yourself. Or maybe you have to give the teacher some time, because you don't understand everyone the very first time you meet them. It's after a few days that you understand them, right? And finally, never give up. That is, it happens to be that when you start learning something like a language, you will find it very difficult to learn in the beginning, but once you get into it, it's rather a smooth flow, smooth sailing. So first you have to get yourself, push yourself, and you might not succeed in the beginning, but once you keep on doing it, you will find that it is easier to learn. So that's all what I have to share about learning how to learn. Thank you. Thanks a lot.